Good morning, guys. I'm Blackie and welcome back to the channel. Okay, today I want to talk about it's November and it's the time to be gathering up for your fire kits, getting your little dried out flower tops and those other resources that are right now available that when the winter storms hit, they're gone. They'll crumble to dust and be gone, and you won't have any fine tinder. So now's the time to take your gather bag, get the kids, go out and walk down a dirt road or along the edge of a field or something and start gathering up. Make you a bag of it up. Then once you do, get home, make sure it's dry, put it into Ziploc bags and store it, and refill to your fire kit as you need. Now right now here in the South, there is a tinder source available that when you first look at it, looks like, man, that ought to be fantastic. And I've mentioned it recently, but I want to go a little more in depth in it. And it's dirty cotton. Now what dirty cotton is, this is where they're picking cotton in the field. And the combine that is used to actually pick cotton, as it's churning along and doing its bit, it's going to be tearing up cotton and processing it on through the conveyor belt system into that hopper in the back. That's the reason you see those big old white snowball cotton rolls sitting out there to be taken to the cotton gin. Okay? Well, this is the dirty stuff that gets trapped in the machinery that they often, wherever they're parking the combine or loading or unloading to the big trucks, that's where they're going to clean this stuff out and throw it out. And it is going to be full of dirt and leaves and a little bit of oil and everything else. And the common nickname for this is dirty cotton. And they quite often don't want this to get mixed in with their pretty white cotton, because it would lower the value of it when they're grading it, etc. So this stuff a lot of times just gets left on the ground. Now this is a flash tinder. We think, hey, cotton balls, I hit that and they burn great. This is raw cotton, which means it is, yes, very, very susceptible to a spark. But the fuel, the transition from spark to flash to burning is not as good, really. So when you first look at that, you go, man, that'll be the perfect tinder source. It's a flash tinder. Now, flash tinder is something that will ignite easily, and then it burns very, very quickly and is completely consumed, or it burns quickly, creates a flame for just a second, and the flame goes out. That's what this is. This is every time you hit it, you're going to produce a little flame right quick, that quick. But you need something for that to then ignite, see? So like a tinder bundle or something like that, with this being to catch the spark and ignite the other. But it unto itself is not a good fire starter by itself. I know that sounds counterintuitive. Like I've seen those all the time, and all you gotta do is just put a spark to it and boom, a cotton combiner burn all the time from it. Yes, but let me demonstrate and you'll see better what I mean. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna pull off a handful of it. Now as you can see, that is big and fluffy, and there's tons of leaves ground up into that, bone dry, and there's even probably a little bit of oil and stuff from that combine being mixed. As this is constantly just tearing the fibers up as it's rolling around on the machinery, getting in there. That's the reason it got dirty and had to dig it out. But now watch what happens when a spark hits it. Okay, here's my dirty cotton. I'm going to take my ferro rod and I'm going to hit it. Watch. You see that? Let me get you a little bit closer. I'll even tear it up more. Pull them fibers out. Like that. Okay? Now watch. See flame, and poof, 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 out, and it's smoldering. Right there is a smolder. One more time. Flames, flame, 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 smolder. Try it down here. Flame, 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 smolder. Flame. Smolder, 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 out. Let's try it, putting it down into it. Scrape it a little, get some of that magnesium. Smolder. Now what this means is that this will readily catch a spark, as you saw. Poof, and you only got like 1 or 2 seconds of flame. I can still smell it, still lightly smoldering in there. You sit there and do that and you'll actually feel a tiny bit of heat coming off of it. But it's not producing flame. It makes a quick flame, whatever them little fibers are. And then it smothers itself out, but it doesn't totally go out. Now if I took this and put it in the middle of a tinder bundle, see, it catches spark easy, makes that flame right quick, and that would ignite my other stuff. Now what happens if I add a little Vaseline to this? Then it'll burn, because now you have a fuel source. This is an ignition source, but it needs a fuel source, and so cotton ball and Vaseline is burning like a wick. The cotton ignites easily, but then the burning Vaseline is what is the fuel that sustains it. See? So just because this is light and fluffy and cotton and everything else, you think, man, that is the greatest. It is a great tinder source, but you got to understand the application. See? Because as you see, I could wear out a ferro rod striking on this going flash, 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 and it wouldn't easily do. Now, what if I took this and I spread it out thin and sprayed it down with hairspray? Then you got one that'll burn. Aquanet hairspray will burn just fine. And so you're putting something onto here to make it burn, you see. And so I tell my friends when we gather these up, that it's a flash tinder. It's something to be used as a component, but not a standalone. Because even if I hold a lighter on here in raw flame, it'll do exactly like you saw. It'll flare over the top, and then it'll go out just as fast, because it does not want to hold the flame. See, this is a flash tinder. So as a component, I take this, and then I take birch bark, and I take cedar shavings, and I take other tinder sources that I'm going to gather from the environment. And like I said, I get a big old bag of them. And then I get out on the back deck and I process tinder. I'll sit there and crush it all up and mix that in with other types and create a homogeny of different fuel sources, flash tinders, and etc. So that whenever I pull that out of my waterproof tinder bag and I hit it, poof, I got multiple ignition sources, not just one. I got multiple flash tinders, not just one. I got multiple fuel sources that's going to burn, not just one. And so whatever is best for today, I want it mixed in. Is it cheating? No. It's called being smart and setting this up. This is going to be my fire kit for when I cannot gather off the environment. Everything's wet or I just can't find any fine tinder. I can find big sticks. Remember I talked about the storms of winter? And so I therefore need to have to process and make fuzzy sticks or whatever. And I still need a tinder source to ignite from a spark. That's where that comes in. That's where I reach in there and pull that out. Could I get a fire going with this? Absolutely. But by itself, no. It would be very difficult. It would be very time consuming to keep reigniting, because it doesn't, the cotton actually insulates itself from the heat. And fire works on a three-legged stool, remember? Air, fuel, and heat. This insulates itself from the heat. So the heat is lost and you watch it go out. Because that small fiber the flame overwhelms it. It goes past that heat bubble. And then what happens? It drops out again. Hope you've enjoyed this content, guys. If you have, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you go. Until next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.